All right, welcome back. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is a rough cut on the body. It's not going to be the final cut or anything. I just need to trim off some of this excess in the rear and the wheel wells just to get it sitting right. And then these will be the BSRs, the pinks, the double pinks, C8018B. I'll be running these front and rear on this build, which I'll mount these up because they are bigger than the hoons that are on it. So I'm going to do a rough cut of the wheel well, and then I'm going to get the tires mounted up, and then we're going to start on electronics. Before I do the final cut, I'm going to get everything mounted so I know where everything goes. So first thing I do is just cut out the wheel wells roughly with the curved scissors. Some people score it and then break it off. I find cutting it to be easier for me. So I'm going to do the straight cut first. Right up into the point where it'll need to turn. Like that, just a rough cut and save these pieces. This won't be the final cut for the wheel wells. This will just get it close. So I do that so that I can trim out this rear. Like I said, this is just a rough cut. I'm not following the line yet. So you can see they have all this cut out. We're probably going to cut a lot of this, probably way up to here. See, now that sits down about where I need it to sit. You see how low that is? Trying to get it close to the wheel well and centering the front. So the front, we need to get this gap out of there. So, and this is before the body mounts even. I'm just trying to get it close. So there is a rough line right here. So I'm going to follow that rough line. And there we go. That's my rough cut for the body. You can see we're already on the floor here, so we will trim some of this, but I won't trim that until I get the side plates on. But that'll be the rough cut for the body. So I'm done with that. Next thing I'm going to do is clean up my workspace a little bit. So let's get the electronics out of this. Actually, I don't even need to pull these off. Drive shafts are out. Electronics are almost out. So before I do this, try to keep the wheel straight and then get this center bolt out. There's our electronics. Get our brace off. And there's our roller. So as you see, I already got aluminum support braces in here. Got some parts coming from Basher Queen. So we're gonna get that done, but that's pretty much our roller. Now I do need some of this stuff. So we're gonna get that stuff out. Two-sided tape in there. So normally I would clean this out, but we're going to end up cutting this box because this box isn't big enough for the XLX2. But I want to keep the steering servo and receiver box here. So I'm going to just cut all this out. And then we need the motor mount. These I always loosen by hand just so they don't get stripped. There's our transmission that we're going to flip around. Cutting the two zip ties for the fan. So here's our ESC combo that we'll use on something else. Nothing ever goes to waste. There's our game changer fan. VLX motor. Get our gear off. Motor mount plate and bolts. believe this is the 25mm bolt pattern, and I hope I ordered the right mount. I do have another motor mount coming, but I'm going to make sure that this fits my bolt pattern. Which it looks like it does. Sometimes I order the wrong bolt pattern. So I'm going to just loosely put this on because it's probably going to change positions depending on this wiring. So there we go. TP motor on. Remember, this will eventually get Loctite. There's our BLX motor that's been on 8S since it was new, and it's still doing good. As long as you run it correct and watch temps, you won't have any issues. Get our grub screw put back in the gear. So next thing we got to do is, because I'm flipping the mount around, the motor's going to be on this side, so we need to lose this battery tray. Rear cover, battery tray. We'll need to trim up this battery tray to put an edge here. I'll show you guys that a little bit later. There we go. So it's going to be time to mock the motor up. So we got our motor roughed in there. Wires off to the side. Let me get this cover out of the way. Keep running into it. So the next thing would be where we're going to mount the XLX. We know that our servo box is pretty much going to go here. So it looks like we're going to have to put it over here. So I'm going to peel up this Velcro that I have here for my GPS. probably have to trim this stuff down. See the size of this thing. So I tell people not to throw this away because there is a card in here. Right here. Gives you a code in this corner. This is get your free Castle Link adapter. Tuning card for $10 or your Castle Link. So save this because this number where my thumb is covering is important for the Castle Link. So I'll probably have to get another one. 8mm bullets. But the sheer size and wiring of this, because it's for a 5th scale, the wires are super long. But you see the sheer size. It fits perfect right in here, but is really close to the center diff when you're running a differential, because the differential gear is so big. We're going to go down to a 34, so it's going to leave us even more room. But I mount it up this way so that I can get these wires stretched over to these wires. And I might flip this motor around so that 3 wires, well, no, drive shaft goes here. So I'll probably move the wires to the top so that they bend over and I can get them to connect with the wiring supplied. So that's pretty much how this is going to go. And I won't be running the sensor wire. So let's get that thing unplugged. There's our sensor wire. Don't need that. So we'll end up using, I put them together. Should only need 3. I think, I can't remember. But there's our 4, and these are anti-spark, so they won't spark when we plug them in. Because this draws so much current, we need the bigger. I usually run XT90s, but I won't on this system. It draws too much, which I found out in the Thunder truck. So there we go, guys. That's the teardown. Next is going to be the build-up video of us building this thing back up. So we'll take a look, see how we're going to cut that, but that'll be on the next episode. There's our teardown. Let me get these wheels off. Tool got in my way. VSRs. See, the front's already bowled, backs are good. And there we go. And then a rough fit for our body. Yep, it's gonna work out pretty good. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the buildup of this thing. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.